Hi everyone, it's Tracy. Welcome back to my channel. This is for the second day of September for Scraptember, and 30 Days of Sketches is a combination group that's making pages. See how many of us can make a page a day. So I put together 30 kits. Oh, I think, to be honest with you, I think I've got 27. I will see how many of these I can get put up on my YouTube channel. But this is going to be September the 2nd. That's what today is. This is the sketch that we're using. And even though it doesn't say, I'm pretty sure it is a scrapbook generation sketch. It's got some dimensions here. It looks like it. And I want to tell you, okay, first I want to explain what's going on. So I punched out a bunch of things. I want to kind of get things started because I knew it would take me a while to do that. And then I got a phone call, and then I kept on punching stuff and doing my dies while I was doing that. So it's just as well. The page that I'm doing is about the beefeater that's at the Tower of London. And I'll be real honest with you guys. I went to London back in 1987, and that was when it was film. The camera that, it was, I think it was like 120, 110 camera. I don't even know. It wasn't a 35 millimeter. I was 27 years old, 26, 27 years old. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what I was photographing. All I knew, I was in London and I wanted to take pictures of everything that I saw. Now, to tell you, I was only in London for one day. I had flown out to Europe. It was my very first trip to Europe. I went by myself, but I went out to go visit my brother who was living in Germany. But I had to fly back early to London because my flight left from London the next day and I couldn't get a connection, so that I made my flight back to the US. That's how this all came about. But I want to show you what I did. I went online and I got photos from Facebook pages that represent my trip that I was there, because I'm going to show you what my picture looked like. Yeah, this was, can you see it? Yeah, that's a beefeater, which is like the guard at the Tower of London. Yet it's so dark. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know that I couldn't be able to see him. It wasn't digital. I couldn't look at it. Yeah, it was sad. And I thought, I cannot make a page with this. So I found, I think I did Facebook Tower of London, and I found this guy's, um, I guess his Facebook page. And these are so bright and so, it totally represents, this is what I remember it being like when I was there. And there's just no way that that picture would have ever worked, for what I needed. But I wanted to remember this trip, which is kind of like the whole point. So I'm using his photographs. I'm also going to put that photograph there. I'm going to put it inside, probably on the back, so that I know that I took pictures while I was there. And in fact, you'll see other pictures of my trip to London. For whatever reason, I'm wanting to get those scrapbooked, and I want to. And I just pulled photos from Facebook. Of course, Facebook wasn't around back then, but it is now. Hallelujah. All right, so let's go back to this. I'm going to be pretty true to this. I've cut some strips. I've got my stars, as you can see, and I'm just going to go ahead and get to playing with this. Most of this is paper. These are acrylics. I got this from Bramble Fox. These are great. These are all of the red stars that I have. So I wanted to make sure that I use up as many of these as I can. This is a washi. Let's see if I can find it. So this is the washi tape, and I just put it on some white cardstock, and made little strips, and they're going to go over here. And then these dark blue ones are going to go here. And then I'll just put the stars. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just get to work on this. And I'm not sure if I'll be coming back and doing a live update once I'm done. All right, here we go. The photos are 2.5 by 3.5, and that's exactly what it says on that sketch. I was lucky enough, I was able to trim them down. And of course, you can see I put them on some of this really dark red cardstock. I did that, of course, before I started this whole thing. And everything is going to go at an angle. And because it is at an angle, it's a little bit hard to use like a T ruler. I guess I could have at some point, but this is all pretty much kind of guessing, where to put things. The way it turns out, I'm real happy with it. Other than I think that the photos are up a little high, but you know what? It all works out okay. Now, you'll notice at the end that I did leave this big empty space between my title, which is actually going to be Beef Eater, and the date, which I am putting 1987 because that was the year that I went. But I wanted to talk about what Beef Eater is. I didn't know that's what they were called when I went there as a young child, in my 20s. But I learned a lot while I was there. One of the photos or one of the pages I'm going to do is I took a tour boat to the Tower of London. We went on the River Thames and went over there, and sometimes it was hard to understand them, but I tried my best. But I did learn a lot from the beef eaters during that tour. So I certainly want to remember that. Of course, I wasn't able to take any photographs inside the Tower of London, and that is where the crown jewels are kept. And that was like a separate tour, and I didn't do that, and I was okay with that. That wasn't that big of a deal to me. But I wanted to see as much of London as I could since I knew I was only going to be there for the day. So yeah, it was definitely, it's amazing all these years later that I'm wanting to scrapbook it. And I guess I have a really good memory of things from the past. And I know the things that I saw, I remember, except I can't remember the name of the restaurant that I ate at when I had fish and chips. So anyway, but I do have a story about that as well, and I certainly need to find. No, I did. I found a picture of fish and chips, and I am going to make a scrapbook page because there is a story about that. So I wanted to talk about what a beef eater is, and about uh, my what I learned from them. So that's really why there's going to be this huge empty space. Now everything is glued down. All the I'm gonna try to say the acrylics. I just use the wet glue that I have. I think it is. Oh, what is it? It is the Scotch Quick Dry is what I've been using, and um, and then the paper stars. I do use the Quick Dry, especially when I'm going to build them up. I have 3 or 4 layers of these stars because, to be honest with you, I didn't want to keep them. I would rather have them be bulky, like chipboard, than to have to store them with all my other stuff. So I really like that. You can't hardly tell, even the page when I have it done, because the acrylic is so deep. You can't really tell that the other stars are chipboard like. I guess because they're really not that much thicker than, even though I use 3 or 4 layers of the cardstock. And I know you can't even see that because I'm doing it off camera. I guess I work really close to my body. I didn't realize I did that so much. Now I have these stars here. I also pulled some stars out of my stash. I bought these stars at Joann's. They're teeny tiny stars. They're maybe 1/4 inch stars, and they're a silver and a gold. And I decided to do the silver. I thought it worked better, for this layout. And so when I disappear, there they are. I find them, and I'm just going to start laying them down. I'm not going to add any more embellishments to this. I do get some Heidi Swap Color Shine in white. Now, if you guys have ever worked with that, it doesn't really come out white like acrylic paint, but it does leave a little bit of a shadow of white, and you'll see here at the end, kind of giving you an idea. So I'm going over looking for the color shine. Oh no, the alpha. So I brought the blue and the white because I wasn't sure which color I wanted to go with, and I decided on the navy. And I worked backwards and spelling out the word Beefeater, and then the date's going to go at the very bottom on the right. Very, very simple. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, make sure you check out the other ladies that are participating in this. Check out their videos. There's also some Instagram accounts that have pages that they're creating this month. Yeah, there's a lot of people participating. So make sure you check them out and leave them comments and likes and all that good stuff. All right, so now you'll get to see the joy of working with this white. Yeah, you can't even see it because I didn't shake it up very good. There is a ball in the bottom of that, and you have to shake it because all of the white paint, the color is stuck at the bottom. I probably haven't used that way over a year. Way over a year. So now you can begin to see a little bit of the white. I think at the very end you'll be able to see the most. There. It's starting to show up. It's very sad. Oh, and I forgot to glue this one little spot on here. Yep, and I'm going to give bring it up closer to the camera. I give you guys a view of it. Oh, let me trim off this end. Yep, this is what it looks like on the back side. Yep, there it is. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.